There you are. Come and sit with me a while. It's Ruth, and today I want to talk about the women who seem to defy the years, not the ones who've had things done, the real ones. You know one, I'm sure. A woman in her 70s, even her 80s, who walks in and you simply think, my goodness, how does she do it? She isn't young, she isn't pretending to be. And yet there's a freshness to her, a lit up, ageless quality. And you'd swear she knows a secret the rest of us were never told. Well, after years of watching these women closely, I can tell you the truth of it. It isn't a secret cream. It isn't money, and it certainly isn't surgery. It's a handful of small daily habits, things they do so automatically they couldn't even tell you they're doing them. And every single one of them is something you can start tomorrow morning for little or nothing. So that's our talk today. 8 little habits the most ageless women share. And I'll be honest with you, the way a friend should, none of these is dramatic and none of them will shock you. Their power is that they're small and they're daily, and they add up over a lifetime into that quality we all notice and can't quite name. Stay with me to the 8th, because it's the one that has nothing to do with your face at all, and it might be the most important of the lot. Let's begin. And you know my rule by now. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, I'm just a woman who's paid close attention. These are suggestions from a friend, never rules. Take the ones that fit your life and leave the rest with my blessing. But before the first one, let me tell you the thing that took me years to understand, because it changes how you hear everything else today. The power of all of these is not in any one of them. It's in the word habit. Anyone can glow for a wedding or do their hair for a party. What makes a woman look ageless is that she does these small things steadily, day after ordinary day, so they stop being effort and become simply who she is. A little care, repeated, becomes a way of being, and a way of being shows on a face far more than any single grand gesture ever could. So please don't hear this as a long list of chores. Hear it as a handful of tiny kindnesses you fold into ordinary mornings until they're as automatic as brushing your teeth. That steady, gentle consistency is the whole secret. Not effort, habit. The first habit is that they keep their hair fresh. Not fancy, mind you, not expensively done, just fresh. The ageless women never let their hair go to that flat, faded, grown-out, neglected place that quietly ages us more than gray ever could. They keep it shaped. They keep the ends tidy. They keep it shiny and alive, whether it's silver or colored. If they're gray, they wear it like a polished crown, not like something they gave up on. And here's a thing worth knowing about silver hair especially. Gray hair can go a little dull and even a touch yellow over time, and dull gray is what reads as old, not gray itself. Shiny, bright, well-kept silver is one of the most striking and elegant things a woman can wear. A trim, a little shine, a bit of shape, and the right care to keep it bright rather than dull. That's it. Fresh hair frames a face and lifts it, and tired, neglected hair drags the whole thing down, no matter how lovely the face beneath. It's the first thing people see, so they tend it. The second habit is that they tend their brows. I know it sounds small, but the brow is the frame of the entire face, and as ours thin and fade with the years, an untended brow makes a face look faded too, while a soft, groomed, gently filled brow gives the whole face back its structure and its expression. The ageless women keep a little order there. A tidy shape, a soft fill where the hair has thinned, nothing harsh or drawn on, just present and groomed. 2 minutes, a few times a week. It opens the eyes and lifts the face more than almost anything that takes so little. And the trick, if you take nothing else from this one, is soft. So many of us panic when our brows fade and go at them hard and dark. And a harsh, drawn-on brow on a soft, mature face looks sterner and older, not younger. The ageless women keep theirs feathery and natural, a shade lighter than you'd think, just filling the gaps where the hair has thinned and following their own shape. Soft and there, never bold and painted. That gentleness is the whole difference between a brow that ages you and one that gives you back 10 years of expression. The third habit is that they glow rather than cover. You will almost never catch one of these women under a thick, matte, heavy mask of makeup. They've learned the great lesson of our years, that light, not coverage, is what reads as youthful. So they keep their skin looking dewy and luminous. A tinted moisturizer instead of a heavy foundation. A cream blush for that flush of life, the lightest touch of something that catches the light. They let their real skin show through, evened out just a touch, glowing. Because skin that catches the light looks alive, and a heavy matte mask, however well meant, only flattens and ages. They reach for glow, always, not for cover. Let me pause here, because I never want you to mistake what this is. None of these habits is about hiding your age or being ashamed of a single year of it. The most ageless women I know are the proudest of their years, not the most frightened of them. These aren't things they do to look young. They're things they do to look after themselves, to feel like themselves, to greet the world as the cared-for, vital women they are. There's all the difference in the world between hiding from your age and tending yourself within it. We're talking about the second one, always the second one. The fourth habit is that they keep one signature touch of color. For most of these women, there's one bright thing that's simply theirs. A lip color they've worn for years, a scarf always at the throat, a particular shade they reach for that lights up their face. They understand without ever calling it that a point of color near the face lifts it and brings it to life, and that a face framed in nothing but dull neutrals can fade into the background. So they keep their one signature, a soft rose lip, a coral scarf, a wine or a teal they return to again and again. It becomes part of how the world knows them, and it keeps a light switched on in their face every single day. And here's a small thing worth knowing about that glow, so you can do it without any expensive products at all. Skin reads as young when it catches and bounces light, the way it did when we were girls, and it reads as older when it's gone flat and matte. That's all a youthful glow really is to the eye, so you don't need to chase miracle creams for it. You simply stop adding the matte, powdery, heavy things that flatten what light your skin still has, and you let a little softness and sheen come through instead. A dewy base instead of a thick one. A cream blush instead of a dusty powder. Skip the heavy all-over setting powder that turns a face flat and gray. The glow these women have isn't something they bought in a jar. It's mostly just the absence of all the heavy matte things that were dulling them down. Less, done gently, not more. The fifth habit, and this one surprised me when I first noticed how universal it is that they look after their hands. We pour everything into our faces and forget that our hands show our age every bit as much, and that people see them constantly when we talk, when we pass something, when we gesture. The ageless women keep a hand cream nearby and actually use it all through the day. Their nails are neat and tended, even if bare, never neglected and chipped. Cared for hands say cared for woman, and they finish the whole picture in a way we rarely think about. It costs the price of a tube of cream and a moment of attention, and it speaks volumes. The sixth habit is that they carry a scent that's theirs, and they keep themselves fresh. There's something about a woman who has a signature fragrance, light and lovely, that she's worn long enough that it's become part of her. It doesn't show in any mirror, but it changes everything about how she feels moving through her day and how others remember her. Freshness, generally clean hair, a light scent, a sense of being put together rather than rushed and rumpled. This is a quiet habit of the ageless, and it has nothing to do with the lines on a face and everything to do with the impression of care and vitality a woman gives off. The seventh habit is that they stand tall, and oh, this one is free and powerful. The years try to curl us forward, to round our shoulders and drop our chins, and nothing ages a woman faster than a collapsed, folded posture. The ageless women carry themselves open and lifted, shoulders back and down, the crown of the head reaching up, the chin level and easy. It isn't about exercise, and it isn't about being stiff or soldierly. It's simply an awareness, a decision to take up your space and stand like the woman who's earned it. You can take 10 years off your whole silhouette in a single second with no products at all, just by lengthening up and opening out. They do it without thinking now, but every one of them, I'd wager, decided to once. I notice it terribly in photographs of myself. On the days I felt small or unsure, there I am, folded inward, shoulders curled, chin dropped, almost apologizing with my whole body for being there. And on the days I felt good, I'm lifted and open, and I look not just happier, but genuinely years younger, in the very same face, on the very same day. Nothing changed but how I held myself. So I've made it a little habit now, a gentle check-in whenever I catch my reflection in a shop window. Lift, open, lengthen, soften the face. It takes a second, and it's free, and it has done more for how I look walking into a room than anything I've ever bought. And now, the 8th habit, the one I promised you, the one that has nothing at all to do with your face, and I believe it's the secret behind every other one. The ageless women stay engaged with life. They keep curious. They keep learning a thing, tending a friendship, laughing properly, caring about something beyond themselves, getting out into the world. And here is why it shows on the outside. A woman who is interested in life wears it on her face. Her eyes are bright because she's actually paying attention to something. Her expression is open and warm because she's engaged, not withdrawn. You cannot paint that on, and no cream on earth can fake it. The most aging thing in the world is not a wrinkle. It's the heaviness that settles on a face that has stopped reaching for life. And the most youthful thing in the world, by far, is the light in the face of a woman who is still wholeheartedly in it. Stay curious, stay warm, stay in the room with both feet. That's the real fountain, and it was never in a jar. And I want to gently say a word about why this 8th one matters so much and why I saved it for last. Because you could do the other 7 perfectly. The hair and the brows and the glow and the color and the hands and the scent and the posture. And if behind it all, you'd quietly stopped reaching for life, it would somehow show anyway, in the eyes, in the set of the face. And the wonderful flip side is just as true. I've known women who barely fuss over any of the first 7, who'd laugh at the idea of a beauty routine, but who are so alive, so curious, so warm and engaged that they glow regardless and everyone finds them beautiful. My friend Eleanor is exactly that. She'd be the first to tell you she hasn't a clue about makeup and never has. But she is so interested in everything and everyone, so quick to laugh, so genuinely present when she's with you, that she lights up a room at 76 and people are drawn to her like warmth on a cold day. The care we take of the outside is lovely, and it's worth doing, and I'd never tell you otherwise. But it works best when it's the outside of a woman who's still wholeheartedly inside her own life. Tend both, the face and the spirit. They were always meant to go together. So let's gather our 8. Keep your hair fresh and shaped and alive. Tend your brows, the frame of your face. Glow rather than cover. Keep one signature touch of color near your face. Look after your hands as much as your face. Carry a scent that's yours and stay fresh. Stand tall and open and take up your space. And above everything, stay engaged with life, because that light cannot be bought or painted, only lived. Not one of those is a needle. Not one is expensive. And together, lived day after day, they become exactly the ageless quality we all notice and admire and could never quite name. I think of a woman in my life named Vivian, who is 81. She does almost every one of these without ever once calling it a beauty routine. Her silver hair is always shaped and shining. There's always a bit of soft coral at her lips. Her hands are soft and her nails neat. She stands like a much younger woman, and she is endlessly, genuinely curious about everyone she meets, asking real questions, laughing her wonderful laugh. People cannot believe her age. They ask her secret constantly. And do you know what she tells them? She says she hasn't got one. She just never stopped taking a little care of herself or a lot of interest in the world. That's the whole of it, my loves. 81. And ageless. And not a single thing done that you and I couldn't begin this very week. And please, don't look at a list of 8 and feel that it's one more way you're falling short, because that is the very opposite of what I want for you. You almost certainly already do 2 or 3 of these without ever having named them. So start there. Notice the ones you've already got and feel good about them. Then pick just one new one, the one that pulled at you most as I talked, and fold it gently into your week until it's automatic and easy and yours. Then, in a little while, add another. That's how every ageless woman I've ever known got there. Not in a dramatic weekend overhaul, but one small kindness at a time, repeated until the years had quietly stacked up into that lovely, lit from within quality we all admire. You have all the time you need. There's no race, and there's certainly no test. There's just you, tending yourself a little more steadily and a little more kindly, starting whenever you like, which could be tomorrow morning. So tell me down in the comments, which of these 8 do you already do without realizing, and which one are you going to start? And if there's an ageless woman in your own life, tell me about her, because I love to hear it. We're learning from these women together, you and me both, and I read every word. You're not too old for any of this. You're just getting started. Be kind to your reflection. I'll see you next time.